Okay, so today in this video, we're going to do a walkthrough because I want to point out a couple of things that have been making a trend. What we started noticing is police officers are no longer issuing tickets directly to you in person. What these officers are developing is the mindset of doing things behind your back. They'll sit there and tell you, oh no, you're not getting any tickets. You're not in trouble. And then you turn around and you go home and you get a ticket in the mail from the very same officer who said you're not getting a ticket. All right, let's roll the footage.
And to believe in Jesus Christ.
God bless you.
Thank you.
You can hear me all the way. Can you hear me all the way down there?
Yeah, I was
Yes.
walking. I heard you.
Yes. Amen. God bless you.
Thank you.
For when the watchman sees the enemy coming, he sounds the alarm and warns the people. This today, ladies and gentlemen, is why I am here at this moment in time. This is why I am here tonight. Because the Spirit of the Lord has been poured out upon me.
All discussions, topics, or situations shown in this video should not be considered entertainment. What you are about to see was created to be educational, documentational, and recorded for future references to the interest of the public at large. Our content is not perfect, so you should always seek the proper counsel before making a final decision.
Romans here, 2 cars. Yep, they're doing a drive-by. 2 Romans here. I told you guys. Didn't I tell you? I told you they were going to come. Didn't I tell you? Told you. God never lies. Told you they were going to come. Did they? So one of them went up to that corner that you have. He's turning that corner by the Quick Check. The other one is behind Valley Bank. PC1. All right, switch over to codes. PC2 times 2 cars. One's at the light. The other one is up the street, but they're just staring at me right now. The other one is PC2C. He's on the other corner. And they're on both corners right now. Switching over to open radio. So you got one in the corner, the other one's parked behind the one right there. You see him across the street? All right, making contact.
I got it.
What's up, my man?
10-4, I'll be here. Yeah.
What can I do for you, sir?
What are you doing out here?
Preaching the gospel of Jesus Christ. I'm in the street ministry called Soldiers for Christ
Right.
Global Community Church.
Okay.
And what we do is we go out and preach the gospel. Your lights are bothering my eyes. I can't really see correctly, so.
All right, so let you know these cameras are on and recording.
That's fine. That's fine. Not a big fan of cameras. I'm old school.
Yeah. Got one right there.
Yeah, I know.
You by yourself tonight?
Say again?
You by yourself?
Guess I could say that.
Is anyone else here? Like
What's your name? Briggs?
Sergeant Briggs. Is there anyone else here? It's all on camera.
262
273.
273
316.
316. All right. So we get to know each other. So I'm with a church called Soldiers for Christ Global Community Church. It's in California. And what we do is we go out and preach the gospel of Jesus Christ.
Okay.
So may I ask if I'm breaking any ordinances or any laws?
You can turn these off.
Oh, I can't have the strobes going?
No.
Those are safety lights.
Unfortunately, you're both on the crosswalk, the sidewalk, the right of way,
Uh-huh.
and you can't have flashing emergency red lights.
So I'm on the, let me get this straight. I'm on the sidewalk and
The right of way.
So
So this cannot be here.
this stand cannot be
All right,
where it's at.
We're not doing
Okay.
this today, so.
All right. No, I'm just documenting everything that's
fine.
being
You
said.
gotta turn this off.
So no problem. Turn off the lights. I'll do that.
You just gotta take this off of this spot where it is.
Says what ordinance says that?
Yeah, we gotta call University Plaza to see if they have permission for him to be on his private property to be doing this.
All right, so right off the bat, we got a robotic cop. And basically, when it comes to these type of police officers, what they do is they're all about dehumanization. They dehumanize you. They don't look at you as a person. You're not seen as a person on their radar. You're seen as a subject, an individual, but never a human. There is no human contact when it comes to these type of police officers. And what makes it even worse is that he has authority that supersedes the regular officers. So they basically have to follow what he says. So already right off the bat, I'm not seen as a human being, and they pretty much do not care what I'm doing out there. Even if I'm just spreading good news about Jesus Christ and all that, they don't care about that. So already off the bat, their aim is to violate rights. Because again, you're not seen as a human being in their eyes. And no, I'm not saying that all police officers are like this, because of course we do have police officers that are Christians and that follow the law, and they do not violate people's rights, especially their civil rights, the constitutional rights. They don't do that. So what I do is when I meet police officers, I give every single police officer the benefit of the doubt, and I observe their behavior, their body language and everything to see who I'm dealing with, because the way you act, the way you speak, I'm going to analyze that, and it will determine what type of person you are.
Oh, I need permission to be on their property?
Yeah, absolutely. You're on their private property.
Okay, and this is public right away, right?
Correct, but you can't be blocking or obscuring it, what you're doing by doing
Okay.
so right now. You
Yeah.
also need your ID, sir.
Why are you requesting ID?
Because you are violating numerous city ordinances by having flashing red lights on a city street sidewalk.
Okay, let me document this real
That's
quick.
fine.
So, flashing red lights, strobe, sidewalk. Okay, and this is else property, so it's the right of way right here.
What I don't understand is where he comes up with this blocking the sidewalk stuff. I mean, clearly you can see the sidewalk is not blocked at all. There is no blocking of the sidewalk. And the property is vacant. But you can clearly see that this is all being made up. This is a pressure point. Because that's their objective, is to pressure you to do what they say. There was completely nothing wrong with what I was doing earlier. When you saw the footage, you saw that people were able to walk completely by at ease. No problem at all. And now all of a sudden, this is an issue. I'm on this property and I'm blocking this sidewalk and I'm using safety lights so that people won't run into me. And all of a sudden, that's a problem. And you see how they just start nitpicking and picking with this. And, oh, you eating this banana at this time of day after 2 a.m. and it's annoying everybody. This is the issue with policing. And this is why I said you're dealing with a robotic cop. They stick to a script and you're dehumanized.
Okay, no problem. So I'm being issued a citation?
No, we're not issuing you any citations right now.
Okay.
We're gonna give you a verbal warning.
Okay.
You said
All right.
you
So
don't-
I'll move this stuff off the property. No problem.
And you got to move it off of here too.
This is public property.
Yeah, but you can't
cannot
block the sidewalk.
It's not blocking the sidewalk.
All right, sir. You cannot obstruct the sidewalk.
I'm not obstructing the sidewalk.
Yeah,
That's what I'm
but
trying
You
to tell
stand in
you.
there in this here,
Just
yes.
get your ID. We just got to document it. Like I said, we're not going to write you a summons for this.
Okay.
We're just giving you a verbal warning, but we're going to document it. This whole interaction is being recorded.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave.
After you give us
after you give me your information.
Okay. So let it be noted that I requested to leave,
Sure.
and you're detaining me right now.
We need your ID, sir.
Am I being detained?
Strictly for purposes of issuing either a summons or a warning. We need your ID.
Okay.
To complete this report, I need your information.
In New Jersey,
Sir, we're not going to argue.
I do not have to issue my ID unless I'm being given a citation
Yes,
or I'm being
issue him a
charged with a
citation.
You want
crime.
a citation?
So you're charging me with a citation because I won't give you my ID?
We're going to give you for hindering also on top of it.
I'm not hindering.
Sir, what's your
I'm not
ID?
hindering anything.
All right, sir.
The New Jersey state law says I do not have to give my ID unless I'm being charged with a crime or a citation is
Or a
being
city
issued.
ordinance.
Stop and identify statutes are laws in several U.S. states that authorize police to lawfully order people whom they reasonably suspect of a crime to state their name. If there is not reasonable suspicion that a crime has been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed, an individual is not required to identify themselves, even in these states. The Fourth Amendment prohibits unreasonable searches and seizures and requires warrants to be supported by probable cause. In Terry v. Ohio, 1968, the U.S. Supreme Court established that it is constitutional for police to temporarily detain a person based on specific and articulable facts that establish reasonable suspicion that a crime has been or will be committed. An officer may conduct a pat-down for weapons based on a reasonable suspicion that the person is armed and poses a threat to the officer or others. In Hyable v. 6th Judicial District Court of Nevada, 2004, the Supreme Court held that statutes requiring suspects to disclose their names during a valid Terry stop did not violate the Fourth Amendment. However, some stop and identify statutes that are unclear about how people must identify themselves violate suspects' due process right through the void for vagueness doctrine. For instance, in Collender v. Lawson, 1983, the U.S. Supreme Court invalidated a California law requiring credible and reliable identification as overly vague. The court also held that the Fifth Amendment could allow a suspect to refuse to give the suspect's name if he or she articulated a reasonable belief that giving the name could be incriminating. The Nevada Stop and Identify law at issue in Hyable allows police officers to detain any person encountered under circumstances which reasonably indicate that the person has committed, is committing or is about to commit a crime. The person may be detained only to ascertain his identity and the suspicious circumstances surrounding his presence abroad. In turn, the law requires that the officer have a reasonable and articulable suspicion of criminal involvement, and that the person detained identify himself. But the law does not compel the person to answer any other questions by the officer. The Nevada Supreme Court interpreted identify under the state's law to mean merely stating one's name. As of April 2008, 23 other states had similar laws. Additional states, including Texas and Oregon, have such laws just for motorists.
Hello everyone, this is attorney Joseph Radzin IV, your trusted attorney with Radzin Law PLLC, and today we are looking at what does the term stop and ID actually mean? Where did that term come from? And really it touches on our constitutionally protected right under the Fourth Amendment to be free from unreasonable searches and seizures. If you're out there in the internet world, you may be watching your favorite First Amendment auditor, or you're just watching someone who records a police interaction on their cell phone and uploads it to the internet. But whatever you may be doing, there's a lot of misnomer and misinformation about what does the court have to say about a stop and ID state. That term comes from old English vagrancy laws, where essentially it gave whether a private citizen or law enforcement the ability to stop and detain someone who was a suspicious night prowler or looked suspicious, and they could detain them or arrest them until that person could properly identify themselves and articulate why they were in the area and what they were doing. Okay, so in recent court case decisions starting, we're only going to look at 1970s and forward, but essentially the courts have held that these types of laws are unconstitutional. They violate our constitutionally protected rights and freedoms in this country. Michigan is not a stop and ID state. Let's go back to the Hyable case here for a minute. Okay, so the Hyable case talks specific about there's an incident where the suspect was involved in some sort of assaultive and battery domestic type situation where he's abusing his wife or something, and he matches the description. His truck matches the description. There's a woman inside the truck, and when the police officer shows up, the truck is positioned in a manner to appear that it's not common for someone to have the vehicle like that, right? There's skid marks, and it looked like it abruptly stopped. And then, you know, he matches the description of the individual doing the abusing. The vehicle matches the description, and then there is also a secondary party there, being the woman. So all of that articulated together showed that the officer had reasonable suspicion to believe that a crime either was being committed at the time, assault and battery, or that it had just recently committed. When the officer comes up to Mr. Hibble, he is then able to ask him for his identification and perform his investigation. The court said that there's no question that that initial stop by the officer was based on reasonable suspicion, which satisfies both the Fourth Amendment requirements that were noted in Brown. And again, Brown was that there had to be specific and objective facts establishing reasonable suspicion to believe that there was criminal activity that had occurred or was occurring in the present time. So I think that is the large in part of what people get mixed up with what a true stop and identifying state means. So to summarize, if you're lost, the Hibble court reasoned that a state statute can require a suspect to disclose his or her name in the course of a brief law enforcement stop if number one, the detention, the investigation, the officer detaining the person was based on a reasonable suspicion of a crime, right? There's some objective basis that the officer can point to say there is a crime or it's occurring. I need to know who you are, okay? So therefore, if a state law requires identifying yourself to an officer, if he can articulate that, he or she can articulate that, then refusing to answer a request for one's name during a stop could lead to an arrest or some sort of other punishment. That is the concept of a stop and ID state. It is not simply an officer walking up to you in the street and demanding they see your ID and you have to give it to them. That is not what the court is talking about here in the Hibble case.
In the state of New Jersey, the police can't hold you unless criminal activity on your part is suspected. Simply ask if you can leave. You don't have to produce ID unless you're presented with a summons. An exception to this is if you're stopped by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, officials. Police are not allowed to give you a pat-down or frisk you unless they suspect that you are carrying a weapon. Police are also not allowed to search your bags or purse unless they have probable cause. That means they have to believe they'll find evidence of a crime if they search any bags in your possession.
Yes. So you're giving me an ordinance because I won't give my ID? That's bias. They'll be thrown out. All right, go ahead, get your book. So you give me a ticket now?
I need your ID.
Are you giving me a ticket? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. All right. No problem.
How many times have we went over this before? I'm not insisting that I get a ticket. I don't want a citation. I'm simply asking if I'm being given a citation, because who wants to be giving up their information to someone they don't know just by demand? We have a right to ask questions. We also have a right to know what we have done wrong if this leads to a infraction. And so I'm not insisting that I get a ticket. I'm not looking to get into trouble. I'm just simply asking a question. Am I being given a citation? Yes or no? Am I being taken to jail? Yes or no? Asking this question doesn't mean I'm looking to go there. I'm not trying to incite a problem. The thing is that because we ask questions, it shows an educated response is prompt. They don't like that. They don't like to tell you what they're going to do to you because they know there's a reaction that's going to come from it.
No problem. So
Also, call that number, see if he has permission to be on the property.
I just told you I'm going to leave. No problem. You're giving me a warning about this property right here. That's fine. I'm leaving. So I'm being given the ticket. Correct? That's a lawful order?
You get a ticket.
Okay. All right. Very good.
Blocking the sidewalk.
Okay. No problem. There you go.
Can I get a phone number for you, sir?
No phone number. Stand by.
Can you shut these red lights off for me, at least that while we're waiting? If somebody were to crash into us right now, because
I've been doing this for years, sir. Nobody crashes.
Sir?
But I'll do that for you.
It's gotta go
I'll
off.
do that for you. So he's requested for me to turn off my strobe lights. So we're gonna shut that off. I'll shut off strobe lights, no problem. And did you get a call?
Yes, we did. That's why we're here.
How many calls you got?
I don't know. I'm the one with
You
dispatch.
don't know,
I'm the road
but
sergeant, sir. So when they tell me to go somewhere, I go somewhere.
okay.
I don't ask if you got 5 calls, 1 call, or 3 calls. When we get a call for service,
Don't do that.
When we
Don't
get-
dehumanize me.
I am saying when
Talk
we
to
get
me.
a call for service, we respond to the call for service. I don't ask how many calls for service we got. At one
Don't
call.
dehumanize me.
You're asking me a question. I'm giving you justification on my reason.
But you're dehumanizing me.
I am not dehumanizing.
Yes, you are.
You are challenging my authority every step you get, which I understand you're allowed to do.
I'm not challenging
I
your
am advising
authority.
you, we
You're
got-
challenging my rights.
We got at least 1 call.
I'm on public property.
You are, but you're also obstructing the sidewalk.
Okay.
Which is both New Jersey.
And I just told you
It's
that
a
I'm going to
2C
pack up and
criminal
leave, and you
offense.
said you wanted the ID.
Correct.
And I said no, because
But thank
the
you-
law
thank you
says
for
I don't
turning-
have to issue my ID unless I'm being given a citation.
Thank you for turning your strobe lights off.
Yes. And then you said, no, give him a ticket.
Correct.
Now, how do you think that sits in court?
We'll see.
We'll see?
We'll see.
No, that's not mine. So, one issue. Stand by for a second. They're both sitting in the corner. And we are PC72. Open radio.
It's a nice setup you guys got.
Would you like to know some more information?
Sure.
Okay. Let me give you some more information because my job is to warn people about sin. This is our tracts that we pass out, letting people know the good news of the salvation of Jesus Christ and how they can obtain salvation through Romans chapter 10. No. And I want you to understand that I have nothing against you.
Can I keep this?
Yes,
Thank
you're
you.
more than welcome to keep it. I have nothing against you as a police officer. I actually respect your duties, but right now you are infringing upon my rights, and that's not good. That's not good at all. I told you that I was going to leave, and you said, no, I'm detaining you, and I'm going to give you a ticket.
For
So
the purpose of a lawful investigation.
unlawful investigation.
sir.
Unlawful.
Is she with you?
I'm here by myself.
All right.
I'm being given a ticket, sir, correct?
I believe we're going to use our discretion to give you a verbal warning.
So you lied to me and you said you was going to give me a ticket. Now you're giving me a verbal warning, and you did that to force me to give up my ID, which is an unlawful act.
You are more than welcome to do anything you feel like doing, sir.
This whole interaction's been recorded.
That's you know, I never met you before in my life,
And hopefully,
and you told
we'll meet
him
again.
I have no problem with the decision that you made about giving me a verbal warning, and I accept that. But it's the principle of what you did. What you did, sir, is that you lied to me. Just looking at the ID right now. You
So what were you doing out here?
lied to me, and you lied to me, and now you're standing here acting hysterical, flashing my ID around in the public, and you said you was giving me a citation. Now you're not giving me one.
Sir, you are free to leave.
I'm free to
Just
leave.
please remove your.
Don't lie to people.
Sir, you are
Stop
free-
lying to
you are
them.
free to leave.
Stop
All right.
lying.
Have a good night.
Thank you.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Oh, I would like to give you some information too, sir. About Jesus. Like I said, I got nothing personal against you, but I don't understand why you just lied to me like that to force me to give my ID, which I have every right to withhold from you unless I'm being given a citation or charged with a crime. And you did that for no apparent reason. Yes. God bless you.
Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it, sir.
And
Have a good night.
if you would like to know how to accept Christ, I can tell you more about that. Are you
You want to give me
interested?
your phone number so I can reach out to you?
No, my information is already on there. Would you like to know more information?
909? No, that's not it.
Sir,
That's a sample and price list from.
this is a matter of life and death, because if you reject Jesus,
I don't reject Jesus.
okay, then I'm trying to explain to you on how you can accept him into your life.
I'm trying to figure out I can get in touch with you if I have any other questions about this.
Okay, the numbers on there on how you
The
can get in.
909?
Yes, the numbers on there on how you can get in contact.
All right. I appreciate it. Have a good night.
But would you like to know more information about following Jesus Christ?
After I get done with what I have to do, I'll take care of that. Have a good
Okay,
night, sir.
all right. What about you,
Make
sir?
sure
You?
We gotta get back to work.
And you?
I gotta get back to work, but
All
I
right.
got your number, all right?
Okay.
Don't turn the lights on. It can't be on the property here or the sidewalk, all right, man?
The sidewalk is not private.
You can't be blocking. You can't have a
That's
stop,
not-
Okay,
Sidewalk.
all right.
all right?
Okay.
This cannot be here.
The speaker cannot be
In
here.
New Jersey, in Hackensack, New Jersey, you need a permit to have a sound emitting device.
Uh-huh.
So this is a sound emitting device, correct? This you could place.
There's no permit required. I already know the ordinance.
Google Hackensack's ordinance.
I did
as far
that
as
already.
Bullhorns and
We-
speakers.
Okay.
This is a violation. They can give you a summons. It's a city
Yes.
ordinance.
City of Hackensack, New Jersey. Part 2. General Legislation. Chapter 112. Noise. 112.7. Maximum permissible sound levels. A. No person shall cause, suffer, allow, or permit the operation of any source of sound on any source property listed in 112.3a above, in such a manner as to create a sound level that equals or exceeds the sound level limits set forth in tables I, 2 or 3.1. When measured at or within the real property line of any of the receiving properties listed in tables I, 2 or 3, except as specified in 112.6b. 112.9. Restricted uses and activities. Section F. Self-contained portable, non-vehicular music or sound production devices shall not be operated on a public space or public right-of-way in such a manner as to be plainly audible at a distance of 50 feet in any direction from the operator, between the hours of 8 a.m. and 10 p.m. Between the hours of 10 p.m. and 8 a.m., sound operated on a public space or public right-of-way from such equipment shall not be plainly audible at a distance of 25 feet in any direction from the operator.
But when you came here, it wasn't on.
It's irrelevant. It was here. There's power to it. There's flashing lights on it. I could hear it. I hear the buzz, the feedback.
Okay,
I
but
hear
it's
it.
not emitting
Sir,
sound.
we are trying to get you out of here like you
All right,
made
good night,
tickets.
sir.
You
Good
keep
night.
trying to
Good night.
argue with us. You're
Good
not
night.
going to win the argument.
Good night.
You need to remove this from this area, or I'll have it removed
I am
for
going
you.
to do it, sir. Good night. Let's just get this off first. So, packing up. More information to follow.
Let me know when they leave.
Hold on for a second. All right, so they're going to supervise my departure. So we got that type of situation going on.
All right, receive. I got the headset on. We'll talk more in a minute. I don't know. What do you say, sir?
You got somebody coming? Pick you up, help you with this?
No, I got this.
How'd you get here from here? Take the bus or drive?
I got this, sir. I appreciate your hospitality,
Make sure,
but it's not requested.
make sure you don't set it back up, alright?
And so not only do they want the ministry to cease, they also do not want me to set back up, which means the ministry is completely disabled and there's blood on whoever hand initiated this breaking down of the ministry. I mean, look at this. I can't make this up. They're so offended by the preaching of the gospel message that they not only want to make sure that I leave, they're supervising the departure, and they say, do not set back up. And so I didn't know there was a way of telling someone to leave without saying the actual words.